that supports its associates to enhance their advisory and client services with the help of innovative technology and unbiased research. Established in 2005, Ifan possesses over 75 years of combined work experience in the financial industry. Ifan was founded with a vision to establish itself as a reliable partner for business growth and higher profitability that empowers financial advisors in India with a comprehensive range of investment products and services by being a one point of contact for their business in a standardized manner. Ifan also offers professional back-office services for product research, marketing, and legal and compliance. Ifan provides efficient online access to its clients, enabling them to monitor all investments under one roof. Manufacturers can access Ifan's widespread professional associate network across the country. The greatest benefit that an associate of Ifan would hold is with Ifan's assistance, he would be in a position to grow his business both in quality and quantity. Ifan's research-based B2B platform offers various asset classes, covering mutual funds, debt, equity, real estate, home loan, LAP, and LAS to over 50,000 clients through a 1,000 plus dedicated associates network in 87 cities in India. The company has been ranked in top 50 distributors in India amongst over 90,000 distributors in mutual funds.
To the customer and the transaction is done, right? So there's no paper. And continuing the journey, if the distributor wants to send something in terms of, telling us about his problem or his experience, okay, there is a callback option on the app. Of course, there is a chat option on the app, etc. So these tools, and we have a similar tool for the investors as such. So these tools really help us be closer with our customer set. At the same time, we keep on hearing our distribution partners and creating a lot of customized tools. So, for example, if the intermediary wants to run a marketing campaign or a service campaign on a set of customers, there's a co-branded effort that goes in, and we have a co-branded emailer or a co-branded campaign that we run with that intermediary. So what happens, and to my earlier point, in the earlier world, to do all this, right, and to the point that we just heard on paper being the primary mean of communication, right, it would have taken us a long time and a logistical nightmare to kind of, first devise a campaign, then send the forms, right, then go collect, and then, keep on sending those receipts, etc. But it's just done at a touch of your finger on the app. So digital really gives us this platform to really innovate and get closer to the customer.
So I think most of it Abhijit has answered. So the rules of the game are same. If we look at digital at our organization, so we are saying first, so there are 3-4 pillars that we've defined, and these can be pillars of digital growth or digital disruption, whatever way. So I'm just trying to make the pillars topical to the discussion. Sure. So the first and foremost pillar is how do you serve your existing customers better. The second pillar is how do you make your sales guys look better. Okay. So distributors play a very, very important role in a life insurance company because life insurance often is sold, not bought, right? So, so it's important that the company.
I think most financial products are sold.
Yeah,
okay,
of course, you're right. You're right.
So, so the deal is, when the seller is sitting in front of the customer, how does the seller come across as a sales relationship agent, right? So you should have all the tools.
And based on their behavior on social media or otherwise, you decide to lend to them or not lend to them. Isn't it kind of invading too much into a consumer's privacy by looking at, tracking these kind of information points on their lives? Or am I thinking too seriously on this?
Well, no, I think it's a very valid question, and it's something that the lenders and we as enablers have to tread very carefully on. I would say that, so my customers tend to be banks, insurance companies, and so on, and what is their expectation of me and my industry, right? So wherever we operate, the expectation is that we maintain large databases, sometimes the largest databases on customers, and be able to keep compiling and corralling the information that my clients can use, right? So the use of these kinds of data sources specifically, right, it challenges us in two different ways. So one of those is we as a bureau have to keep using unstructured data more and more. Whereas historically for the last 100 years, we haven't been using unstructured data, right? So for me now I need to see keywords that a customer has used and build a bit of a picture of a customer and then send it off to my clients, who tend to be sort of people like on the panel here and the one before. So it needs us to grow in newer ways. But actually, there is a much more fundamental challenge it poses on me and my industry. You see, all data, the way we look at it, falls in two categories. There's deterministic data, which is actually factually correct provided to me as a bureau, right? And then there is probabilistic data, which is data that's probably right. So deterministic data is today, as an industry, I and Sybil and Experian, we have about 700 million borrowing relationships on customers. In this room, I would have thousands of borrowing relationships that are given to me by your lenders. It's factual, it's deterministically correct data. But then there is probabilistic data that can be created much faster, right? And social media is creating this probabilistic data very, very fast. So, you know, like LinkedIn data. LinkedIn data is not deterministic. It is stuff that you all have written about your own selves. And very often, you know, I know that customers tend to be a little bit selective about, or individuals tend to be selective about what goes on to social media. You know, it presents their best picture. But it takes about 1/10 the time to create, right? So you can manufacture something that looks good about your profile, but it's not that easy for you to manufacture your whole profile, right? Especially if it's a 5-year-old LinkedIn profile that connects you to 1,000 customers who themselves are linked to 1,000 other customers. So as an industry, right, we tend to use what can be, you know, what are insights that my clients can use, right? So, and that is not invasive, it is not invading into the privacy, it is linking items of data to give my clients a complete picture. So I spoke about thousands of data points in this room. Those are simply your borrowing relationships and what you've done with them over time, right? Not only does it tell me about your borrowing behavior and your repayment behavior, but I actually also build sort of imputed income profiles that people like life insurers use, right? But now I'm assuming things based upon your repayment behavior. So I can have two customers, they can have exactly the same borrowing relationships, the same borrowing behavior. But when I impute their income to be the same, I'm assuming both of them have the same appetite in terms of taking debt. But when I link it to their two LinkedIn profiles, and if one person appears to have 10 years more experience than the other, then I start building a customer profile, right? Which says that, okay, the person who is older with a similar background probably is earning more, but has a lower appetite for debt. So I start building a profile of that customer. I then add it to something else like, you know, transaction behavior on e-commerce sites. I start building a lifestyle picture on a customer. So I'm not necessarily invading privacy because most of this is data that, you know, all of you create and you implicitly allow, you know, the service providers to use. And that's about how far sort of a company like Equifax will go. What you all also have to know is you're also creating footprints of data that you are inadvertently, disclosing. Like every time you download an app, you're allowing the manufacturer of the app to read your text messages. Now that is not data that you thought you were disclosing, but he can read all the credits, all the debits, all the OTP, all of that. But that data is being created somewhere. Maybe I can't use it, right? But there will be people who will start putting a picture of your profile, your income, all of that together. In my mind, that's when it crosses the boundary into something that's a privacy concern, because you didn't realize you were creating that data. So there's a fine line. Somewhere, you cross that line. But as I said, most of the lenders you spoke about and the bureaus that serve the lenders tend to operate in a space where a customer would be comfortable.
Just speaking on that, but so much of digital footprint which exists, which you come across, does it really help you more in profiling a customer, or is it only adding more to the confusion, or you've got more data points, which is what we were talking earlier?
So unfortunately, it does both. It helps, but it adds to the confusion as well. So let me talk about adding to the confusion. See, adding to the confusion comes simply because of the sheer volume of data that's getting created today. So because we deal in data, right? There's a very interesting statistic that my data scientists tell me, that if you look at the whole history of the human race, of all the data that we have ever created from the beginning of time was created in the last 2 years, right? So there's a lot of data that's getting created. So it is obviously confusing. But does it add value, and does it give more and more of a sense of a true picture of a customer? Absolutely. So here, you have to understand, sort of we as a credit bureau or a data analytics company, how precise can we be, right? So if you look at a lending relationship, lender comes to me and I tell them that, okay, well, this is a really risky customer segment, right? So in my career, the riskiest customer segment I have seen anywhere in the world, right, happens to be in India, right? About 10 years back, it was, and most people here are male, so I'll tell you, it's male, single, young, what we call YC, YCR, so years in current residence and years in current employment less than 2 years, right? And this is the single riskiest customer segment I've ever seen. But the bad rate of that customer segment was only 9%. So even when I put together that riskiest customer segment profile, 90% plus of those individuals were actually good customers. So what I'm saying is all our data analytics is not that great. I mean, it can't zero in on a micro segment of one and tell you that customer is bad, drop him, right? So when I start linking new data sources, whether it is deterministic or probabilistic, it keeps increasing that percentage by 1 percentage point here, 2 percentage points there. And for individuals like my clients here and in the previous panel and most of the people here in the room, every little bit helps, right? So it does help, and we use it wherever we can find it. But it's also confusing.
Dr. Prakash, I'd like to, he's being very modest about the technology part or the digital part of his activities of his company. So I remember being in the CMD's office, and there are, these 3-4 TV panels which show a real-time claim settlements. So in that sense, how does that help you in terms of improving either your service delivery or the relationship with hospitals? Because like you rightly said,
that's a very nice question. It's a need today. Health insurance is a contract, and when they want to redeem, and when there is an eventuality, the promptness in which a service is delivered, that is very important. And what you saw in our screens that display is a turnaround time. We have a turnaround time tracking. A customer goes to the hospital first. From the time he reaches the hospital till the hospital raises a pre-authorization request,
and from the time the pre-authorization request reaches our organization till our medical processing personnel replies it. In the same way, at the time of discharge, one of the common things we encounter is patient is close to discharge, but he is waiting for the final enhancement and approval from the insurance companies, and there is a delay, and because of the delay, he may have to extend the length of stay. And because of extending the length of stay, he may get into hospital-acquired infections, etc., etc. So here, we need to track the turnaround time from the time of pre-authorization request to approval, from the time of enhancement raised to the enhancement that is given. But the problem is, if you clearly follow this, the problem is at the time of a provisional pre-authorization approval, some of the important documents related to the pre-existing disease may not be available. At the time of final enhancement, close to discharge, these documents and history will unfold. So naturally, we will, a policy which is apparently admissible at the time of pre-authorization request will become rejectable or deniable at the time of discharge. There the customer is unhappy and the hospital asks us, you are the people who approved it before. No, here, there is a confrontation and this is very difficult to address. And at that point of time, when I start talking about the policy norms, the hospital tells me you are doing an underwriting at the time of settlement. So this is a problem we face, and insurance companies today, like the last year the premium was around 24,800 crores, 2015-16. But if you look at the loss ratio, on group policies it is about 120%. On government run insurance programs it is around 110%. And on retail business it is around 88%. Overall, the industry average is around 102 to 104%.
The financial advisory business is rapidly evolving from offering just sales-based advice to advice-based sales of financial products. Advice that ensures customers can avail of better performing financial products that offer higher returns and enhanced security. This advice that empowers financial advisors to offer quality services is based on an understanding of numerous factors that influence the performance of financial products. Understanding that is gathered through a deeper understanding and solid analytics. Ifan, shaping tomorrow's financial planners. Independent Financial Associates Network, Ifan, is a B2B distribution platform for financial products that supports its associates to enhance their advisory and client services with the help of innovative technology and unbiased research. Established in 2005, Ifan possesses over 75 years of combined work experience in the financial industry. Ifan was founded with a vision to establish itself as a reliable partner for business growth and higher profitability.
इस महीने उसकी भी पेमेंट आ गई, बेटे की फीस, और इस बार पिताजी ने भी थोड़े पैसे मंगाए हैं। महीने के जो रेगुलर खर्चे होते हैं, दूध वाला, बाई, पेट्रोल, क्रेडिट कार्ड वगैरह वगैरह, वो तो वैसे ही हैं।
ये खर्चे तो होते ही हैं यार, तूने ऐसी हालत क्यों बनाई हुई है?
सेविंग अकाउंट पूरा खाली कर देने के बाद भी ये सारे खर्चे पूरे नहीं हो पा रहे, तो पेमेंट रुक गए, वो अलग।
बाकी पैसे कहां गए? सब उड़ा दिए?
अरे नहीं, इन्वेस्ट किए हुए हैं, लेकिन इक्विटी फंड अच्छा रिस्पॉन्स कर रहे हैं। कुछ लॉक इन पीरियड में। ज्वेलरी कैसे बेच दूं, एफडी तोड़ूं या बॉन्ड करूं तो क्या करूं? अब तुरंत पैसे की जरूरत।
ओह, यहां तो पैसा सेविंग में, लिक्विड में कुछ नहीं है।
अरे सेविंग अकाउंट लिक्विड ही तो है।
मतलब लिक्विड फंड ठीक जिंदगी के ऐसे मोड़ों के लिए जहां अभी तू खड़ा है।
मतलब कि क्या?
लिक्विड फंड म्यूचुअल फंड की एक कैटेगरी है।
और एंट्री एंड एग्जिट लोड?
लिक्विड फंड में जनरली कोई एंट्री एग्जिट लोड नहीं होता, तो इसमें एंट्री एंड एग्जिट लोड का नो प्रॉब्लम।
तो फिर
लिक्विड फंड का पैसा गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटीज जैसे कि ट्रेजरी बिल्स और दूसरी शॉर्ट टर्म डेट सिक्योरिटीज जैसे टर्म डिपॉजिट, सर्टिफिकेट ऑफ डिपॉजिट्स, कमर्शियल पेपर्स इत्यादि में इन्वेस्ट होता है, जिसकी मैच्योरिटी 91 डेज से ऊपर नहीं होती। जब चाहो तब अपना पैसा निकाल सकते हो।
और रिटर्न भी देता है?
बिल्कुल।
तो आज का किस्सा निपट जाए तो सबसे पहला काम यही करूंगा।
और आज के लिए मैं तेरा लिक्विड फंड बन जाता हूँ। दोस्त भी तो लिक्विड फंड की तरह ऐसे ही मौकों पर काम आते हैं।
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
The health insurance industry today, with close to 25,000 crore premium that is collected by the industry, the loss ratio is around 104% plus marketing and administrative cost.
Abhijit, this brings me to you because you encounter compliance which could be both internal and regulatory compliance extensively. How much has the digitization or how that has kind of increased your work or made things easier?
Yeah, I think what I say, increased work, of course, because everything that you do, everything that you put forth is there, easily accessible. So we need to ensure that there's consistency of information across platforms, across websites, across medium, because it is not about just printing a fact sheet, right, and getting people to pick it up, right. Today, digital picks it up in various mediums, so that's one. In terms of what's it done for us, of course, it is increased transparency, so that from a customer point of view, the customer actually exactly knows where the customer's money is going, what's happening, etc. What it also helps us to do is have continuous engagement in terms of conversations with customers, because asset management as a category is heavily dependent on various factors, macro as well as microeconomic, right? And people like you help us to engage better with customers in terms of creating that awareness. In fact, simply put, they don't have to wait for the next edition of Outlook Money to actually come in, right? So that is it. On the regulatory as well as internal compliance, Mr. Prasad in his keynote address mentioned that SEBI is doing a lot of heavy lifting in terms of making sure that mutual fund, because it's a beautiful product, right? End of the day, it's a current generation product, and moving away from traditional investment avenues, it's a great product for any goal or any specific individual financial requirement, right, from child's marriage, education to retirement, and the host of products that the industry offers is also beautiful in terms of as low as 500 rupees to as high as 25 lakh in terms of a PMS. There's everything that's available. Okay, so the regulator is focused on making sure that mutual funds awareness is high, and is doing. In fact, the regulator is doing a lot of heavy lifting, and there are a lot of tailwinds that we see. Be it in terms of eKYC, be it in terms of CKYC, be it in terms of transparency, in terms of digital push for mutual fund. So that's actually helping us.
Would you like to add something on the compliance piece?
Yeah, it's on the compliance front, we have our compliance with the regulator. Insurance company is highly regulated, whereas we have our day-to-day interaction with the hospital, and the hospitals today, it is not a regulated industry. There is no standardization of cost, there is no standardization of procedures. So for us, very difficult to reach a compliance, and we are strongly looking at some technology, assistance through technology, monitoring through technology. That is only the way forward to achieve real compliance, because health insurance has got a very big outer potential, because 126 crore population, 90 crore people have mobile, but less than 9 crore people have health insurance. So the outer potential for the growth of this business is very high, but unless we bring in technology and other factors to achieve absolute service efficiency, we cannot look at penetration in a big way. So every insurance company will be strongly looking for a good technology partner to help them in analysis, to help them in giving a seamless service to their customers to achieve a no greater compliance.
The financial advisory business is rapidly evolving from offering just sales-based advice to advice-based sales of financial products. Advice that ensures customers can avail of better performing financial products that offer higher returns and enhanced security. This advice that empowers financial advisors to offer quality services is based on an understanding of numerous factors that influence the performance of financial products. Understanding that is gathered through a deeper understanding and solid analytics. Ifan, shaping tomorrow's financial planners. Independent Financial Associates Network, Ifan, is a B2B distribution platform for financial products that supports its associates to enhance their advisory and client services with the help of innovative technology and unbiased research. Established in 2005, Ifan possesses over 75 years of combined work experience in the financial industry. Ifan was founded with a vision to establish itself as a reliable partner for business growth and higher profitability that empowers financial advisors in India with a comprehensive range of investment products and services by being a one point of contact for all financial product and assets. Ifan offers a web-based B2B financial products and services platform where financial advisors and distributors can gain access to services like basket of products, research, financial planning, e-Nivesh, online wrap solutions, portfolio monitoring, CRM, commission management, training, financial planning, and trailer monitoring. It serves as an efficient, low-cost, plug-and-play model for advisors to scale up their business in a standardized manner. Ifan also offers professional back-office services for product research, marketing, and legal and compliance. Ifan provides efficient online access to clients, enabling them to monitor all investments under one roof. Manufacturers can access Ifan's widespread professional associate network across the country. The greatest benefit that an associate of Ifan would hold is with Ifan's assistance, he would be in a position to grow his business both in quality and quantity. Ifan's research-based B2B platform offers various asset classes, covering mutual funds, debt, equity, real estate, home loan, LAP, and LAS to over 50,000 clients through a 1,000 plus dedicated associates network in 87 cities in India. The company has been ranked in top 50 distributors in India amongst over 90,000 distributors in mutual fund. Ifan also ranks amongst the top 5 distributors in company fixed deposit mobilization. Being a large institute and aggregator has an advantage to negotiate with financial product providers and thus offer higher short-term and long revenue to its associates. This also helps associates sustain their skilled manpower, thereby helping them increase their client base. As an associate starts increasing his network, he will have the potential to earn higher revenues across product classes. Ifan partners include a company that enables IFAs to gain greater efficiency and the ability to tap into economies of scale and at the same time help them deliver better service performance for their clients without increasing the cost. Ifan has taken the initiative to lead the change and facilitate a paradigm shift from the current sales-based advice to a more effective advice-based sales model in the financial services sector. Ifan.
और बेटा सेटल हो गए नई जॉब में? सैलरी आ रही है ना टाइम पर?
हाँ अंकल, देखिए ना, मैंने पहली सैलरी से ये फोन लिया था। नेक्स्ट मंथ की सैलरी से पूरा वार्डरोब चेंज, और सितंबर में ये वॉच खुद को बर्थडे गिफ्ट की थी।
और तुमने अभी तक गाड़ी नहीं ली? बैंकॉक घूमने नहीं गए?
अभी इतने पैसे बचते ही कहाँ हैं, बट अगले साल ये सब प्लान में है।
और शादी?
रिंकी के घर में तो अभी पता भी नहीं है, पर उससे पहले घर लेना पड़ेगा। रिंकी के पापा ना।
लेकिन अगर अगले साल बैंकॉक, कार, तब तक ये फोन भी पुराना हो जाएगा, फिर एक और बर्थडे, एक और गिफ्ट, और तब तक रिंकी के पापा को पता चल गया तो ना आया घर, ना हुई शादी। तो क्या घड़ी होगी, कपड़े होंगे, शायद कार भी होगी, उसमें ही तुम्हारा दोस्त तुम्हें एयरपोर्ट छोड़ देगा, तुम बैंकॉक चले जाना।
अंकल, आप तो डरा रहे हो।
ना बता रहा हूँ, क्योंकि तुम्हें शादी से पहले घर लेना है और इसके लिए पैसे बचाने पड़ेंगे। न सिर्फ बचाने पड़ेंगे बल्कि इन्वेस्ट करने पड़ेंगे। आज मेरे पास सीमा भी है, घर भी, कार भी, और ये घड़ी मैंने लंदन से ली थी।
अंकल, 2-3 हजार बचा भी लिए तो उससे क्या घर आएगा?
2-3 हजार कम होते हैं क्या? शुरू तो करो।
बट इन्वेस्ट कहाँ करूँ?
तुम शेयर्स, बॉन्ड्स, डिबेंचर्स, गोल्ड, इन सब में इन्वेस्ट करो।
अंकल, इन सब के बारे में तो मुझे कुछ भी नहीं पता।
इन सब में इन्वेस्ट करने का आसान तरीका है म्यूचुअल फंड्स।
मतलब?
तुम्हारे और मेरे जैसे लोग जब म्यूचुअल फंड में इन्वेस्ट करते हैं, उस पैसे को फंड हाउस स्कीम के इन्वेस्टमेंट ऑब्जेक्टिव के मुताबिक अलग अलग कंपनी के शेयर्स, बॉन्ड्स, डिबेंचर्स वगैरह वगैरह में इन्वेस्ट करते हैं।
बट अंकल, ये सेफ तो है?
म्यूचुअल फंड स्कीम्स को प्रोफेशनल्स मैनेज करते हैं। इनकी कोशिश ही यही रहती है कि आपकी रिस्क कम करें और अच्छा रिटर्न दिला सकें।
तो अंकल, देखा जाएगा, लगा दो दाव।
अरे हीरो, यहाँ बात मरने मारने की नहीं है, इन्वेस्टमेंट की है। तो हमेशा सोच समझकर, और जब रिंकी के पापा को पता चलेगा ना कि तुम ये कर रहे हो, अरे खुद तुम्हारे घर आएंगे बात करने के लिए।
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme related documents carefully.
Hello everyone. Let me begin with the Monetary Policy Committee decision which voted in the favor of a status quo, and that was unanimous in nature. This was largely in line with market expectations. So what did change was the reverse repo rate, which was increased from 5.75 to 6%. So effectively it means that the corridor between the repo and the reverse repo, which was at 0.5%, now stands at 0.25%. Why was this required? Couple of reasons. A, the overnight rate, which is the rate at which the interbank transactions happen, had gone way below the repo rate and was trading at around the reverse repo rate. This could have meant an implied easing of rates, which is something which we believe RBI could have been wary of. Number two, there is an excess liquidity in the system right now, which we believe RBI wants to gradually drain out. Is it likely to completely choke the system in terms of liquidity? The answer is probably not. But I think this band or the narrowing of the band would effectively mean slightly more orderly movement, especially at the short end of the yield curve. The markets obviously were expecting a status quo, so the impact was fairly muted as far as the short end of the yield curve goes. We saw an yields increase marginally in the band of about 5 to 10 basis points. The government securities market, or the GSECs as we call it, had the biggest impact in terms of quantum of price fall or the yield rise. Now this was largely given the outlook table to us by the Monetary Policy Committee, which basically sees some upside risk to inflation. Of course, the FY17 or the March 2017 target for inflation has largely been met. but the FY 17-18 inflation target has been broken into two halves. First half at about 4.5%, second half at about 5%. This effectively means that the RBI sees some upside risk to the inflation projections of being able to achieve 4% mark. Now that obviously has not been good news for the markets, and even more important is given the uncertainty on the global economic variables, as also coupled with the monsoon effects, the inflation impact and the transient liquidity, the RBI believes that the rates will remain in neutral mode for some time now. We therefore believe that incremental rate cuts in the near to medium term could not be something which could be conceivable. What should therefore markets look forward to going forward? Expect the markets to remain range bound, in line probably in the band of about 5 to 10 basis points, given the kind of sell-off that we have already seen right now. The 10-year government security benchmark is almost at 6.8%. The good news here is that foreign institutional investors have been continuous buyers not only in the equity markets but also in the bond markets. January year to date 2017, we have seen almost 1 lakh crores of inflows by FIIs both in the equity and the fixed income markets. In fact, in the first 2 working days of April alone, we've seen approximately 10,000 crores of FII flows into the bond markets. This, we believe, will keep the yield rise under check, with incremental buying coming in from foreign investors as also some investors in the domestic segment. What should be the outlook going forward and the strategies that investors should focus on? In this kind of a scenario, we have been quoting for quite some time that short-term or credit accrual-based strategies seem to be the best fit for an investor seeking exposure into fixed income. Ultra short-term kind of strategies also would probably be a better suited investment avenue over liquid funds, where the yields are at abysmally low levels and we believe will continue to remain that way going forward. Should one look at duration funds like gilt and bond even right now? Well, we believe that these funds come in with inherent increased volatility given the longer nature of the duration that they have, and therefore a buy on dips could be a potent strategy, probably as a tail end allocation to your fixed income portfolio. To conclude, we believe that the domestic variables are broadly under control with no imminent negatives in the offing. Crude has been under control. Inflation has been fairly orderly. It remains to be seen how the global factors pan out, which will obviously shape the future course of the monetary policy in India. Thank you.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks.